What's up, everybody? Nightwolf here, and we're back for another episode of the podcast, Mechs of the Roundtable. I don't remember what episode we're on here. Five. We're in 5 episodes, and the cat is in my room.
Cat's in the room, and it's in the bag.
Cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon.
Oh my gosh.
Hello, little Michigan. Okay, say hi, Megazord and Magnus Supreme.
Hola.
I have returned this.
Return this what?
This week.
This week?
I wanted to do a whole Jack of Blades thing, but I forgot the line.
Oh. Yeah, we've alternated cast members because Sinanju's not here this week. Hopefully next week will be better, or at least everybody will be able to make it next week. Hopefully. If not, oh well.
Darn it, I wanted to talk about this pilot's unfortunate name.
What, Full Frontal?
Yes.
Why would you want to talk about that?
Hey, at least it's not bad as Captain Anus.
Yeah, I don't know many things that could be better than that.
That's the
Age 3
name.
is a captain named Anus.
Yeah, Gundam Age has a captain by the name of Anus.
Wow.
It's not spelt that way, but it's pronounced that way. Don't ask me how that works out, because I don't even understand that.
Maybe he is a rectal surgeon.
It's a girl.
It's a female.
Oh. Well, I think there's an inside joke going on.
Possibly. There's possibly an inside joke going on.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that choice in name either. I think that's probably the worst Gundam pilot or person's name I've ever
It's
seen
the
in the
captain.
show. I know. That's the worst name for a captain.
She's like one of the worst captains in the series, too.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, Orga might be up there with Bright Nova's captain.
Best captains.
Because he hasn't had to slap anybody yet. Everybody's just like, okay, I know that if I mess with you, you're gonna get revenge in like the worst way, because you're not gonna go after me, you're gonna go after everybody I know first.
Yeah. Okay, so basically, this week we got recap episodes for 4 and 5. Unfortunately, somebody on the podcast hasn't even watched it once.
Well, I'm watching it right now.
I know. I just like giving you a bad time. I mean, come
it's okay,
on.
I don't mind any.
You know who
You
we've never mentioned?
Spoilers.
What was that, Magnus?
We've never mentioned the Hitler Stash Man, and he's had like a prominent role in the past few episodes. But until episode 4 and 5, we didn't really realize how big a role he had.
What, Mr. Toto?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that was one of my
Hitler
points.
Stash Man.
It was
That is
interesting.
pretty funny.
Yeah, he did kind of have a Hitler stash going on, I guess. I never really thought of it that way, but yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, that was one of my points that was talking about his betrayal of Tekkadan. Or Iron Flower, or whatever we want to call it.
I can see that coming, because he's all, like, worried.
Yeah.
Because they're going against Gallifrey.
I'm continuing to think that this series doesn't have beam weapons.
Yeah.
Because even the ships use ballistic weapons.
I'm noticing that.
I don't mind that.
Yeah, I think it'll be okay. It would be the first time in a long time that a Gundam show has gone without, melee weapon or beam weaponry.
I was about to say this is mainly a melee Gundam, it seems.
Yeah. Barbatos
And
is
it can
mainly
dual
melee.
wield.
What? The Barbatos?
Yes.
Yeah, he can. He can dual wield a large rifle and an axe, apparently, and also his giant mace, on top of everything else.
Yes.
Yes, he used his EXP points very wisely.
We'll get into that later. A little bit later.
Let's talk about the children in the corn.
The children in the corn.
At least that's what it's. The episode is called "The Price of Life," I think.
Yes.
I forgot the name of the episode.
It's the price of life. I can
But
verify.
really, it's just a bunch of people standing in the cornfield for like 20 minutes having a conversation.
Yeah. I think that quite a bit happened in just in this episode. A lot more character development and a little bit more understanding of how this world functions and operates. Like, one of the things I was wondering about is how they were going to get to space. Because as far as we were aware, they didn't have a spaceship. They were ground forces, and as far as I knew, no spaceship. But in this episode, we have found out, in episode 4, how they get to space. So that was fun. Basically, they take transport from another company that does, I guess, trade routes between Mars and Earth, and they pay for it. They pay for protection. At least that's what I've gotten so far.
Yes.
But obviously, there are underhanded individuals in that expertise.
Basically, they were going to, like, what is it? I guess it was, like, their game. I thought they were, like the Gundam Mafia, basically.
They were the equivalent of mob bosses. I guess. I really don't know.
You know, a little side note here. I realize now how they get all that fuel for their Gundams. It's from all this ethanol in this cornfield.
So yeah, it doesn't run on fossil fuels. It runs on corn oil.
Yeah.
I think partially.
I want to know how they what the actual terraforming process of Mars went.
I was remembering that the Barbatos has what's known as the Ahab reactor. I don't know what that's fueled by.
But it does have thrusters, so
it has one.
So the thrusters use normal gas. Then it has a generator, which I guess powered the entire building, though somehow they have a backup generator just in case the Barbados went offline, I guess.
Yeah, a lot of information on all the corn and whatnot. Let's talk about the corn. That's what this podcast is all about. Let's talk about corn.
Corn and Mars dates, I think they were called.
Yeah, sure. Let's talk about food. Why not?
Yes.
Well, actually, no.
They seem to eat a lot in this show anyways.
Yeah, I'm noticing that.
Well, Mikazuki always has those Mars things that lady gives him.
Yeah, he has them. Basically, they're raisins. That's what I'm going to call them. I know they're like Mars dates or something, but I guess as far as I could consider it, it's either you can call it a date or you can call it a raisin. Either way. That's what he seems to enjoy snacking on the most.
And then he gave one to Kudelia, and she got the bad one.
I think her name is pronounced Claudia. It's just with the Japanese accent, it sounds a bit weird.
Yes.
I'm going to call her Claudia.
Sounds cooler.
Not really.
Everybody's named Claudia, right? I mean, come on.
Everybody wants...
like, whoa, it's like, it sounds like some kind of fancy dark chocolate you buy at a co-op store. Kudelia dark chocolate.
So, what was it? They talked about the corn and how it's used to, or that, how much it goes for, money-wise? for Martian currency. Apparently, you can only get barely anything for it. Is how Mika explained it. Is like it's worth basically next to nothing.
What, the currency or the corn?
The corn itself is worth nothing. Or
you know what that reminded me of? What was that movie? It was recent. I think it was... There was some movie where, like, the only plant left on Earth that they could grow was corn. I immediately thought of that, but I forget what it was called. It was new.
I don't know. You got me on that one. I don't know that movie. I obviously missed it. But yeah, it was... I guess in a way it was explaining how... We've gotten to know a little bit more about how this world's economic system and people work in episode 4, particularly with the corn, explaining that even though that Biscuit's grandma makes money off the corn and harvesting it and selling it and whatnot, she doesn't make enough to make a living, so that's why Biscuit is working with Tekkadan or as a military person to supplement the income because, well, it's all he can do basically at this point.
True.
Yeah, and the room has gone silent.
Oh,
I got nothing.
I actually was in the middle of when Mika's choking the blue-haired guy against the car. So I was kind of intently like, "Oh, what's happening here?"
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you mean the Angelo clone? Our first Angelo clone?
Oh, what is his name? Well, his last name is Boudin.
Boudin.
Or however it's pronounced. I don't know. It could be pronounced Boudin or whatever. I don't know.
Well, if it's Japanese, I would guess Boudin.
I'm gonna go with Boudin too. If it's incorrect, please let me know.
No. He's just Budokai Tenkaichi there.
Yeah, sure. We'll call him Budokai Tenkaichi.
There we go.
Sure, why not? We'll name him after a Dragon Ball Z game. That makes complete sense. But yeah, what was the other thing?
They met the shark clone, who's kind of cool.
Yeah, they met Frieden or Friedan. No, I don't want to call him Friedan because actually that reminds me of a YouTuber that I'm not a huge fan of. So no.
Oh.
Don't even bother looking it up. You'll lose brain cells. Don't look it up. Don't.
I'm gonna do it.
Don't.
I gotta know.
Actually, I don't think that's the name of his. I don't even think that's the name of his channel.
Dang it!
It's one of those channels that has not, I guess you could say, what would be the proper terminology? Hasn't technically grown up in a good way, or that his humor is just generally flat. Mm-hmm. Oh, look at me! It seems like almost every podcast I like to bash on some YouTube channel.
Next week we'll bash on the Angry Video Game Nerd.
Sure. Well, no, actually, I have nothing against him. I've barely watched his content. I know that anything that he says during a video and whatnot is normally in character anyway. So
yeah, I know that
I don't care.
I know that I've seen him in interviews and actually seen him speak in actual videos. He doesn't swear as much as he does in those shows.
Yeah, he's just... Okay, we're off topic.
Just a little bit.
Let's get back to the giant robots.
Let's get back to... We were talking about the shark clone. We were talking about Frieden, or McGillis. McGillis.
I like McGillis. It's McGillis.
Yeah. Well, let's see. well, we learned one interesting thing that I'm still I'm trying to wrap my head around this, so hopefully either someone in the comments or someone else can clarify this for me so that I don't feel like a total idiot.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently he's engaged to Budin's, or yeah, he's engaged to Budin's sister. Am I understanding this correctly?
Yeah, that's what he just said. Yeah.
Yeah, he says that he's engaged to her, but the other part,
she's 9 years old.
Yeah, that was what I was gonna point out. I was like, wait, he's engaged.
It's like olden time.
Yeah, he's engaged to a 9-year-old. Could someone clarify this for me? Is this
what?
true?
No.
Yeah, it's like a royalty, like just
It could be
supposed to marry. Yeah, like a.
It could be something like that, because we are talking in a post-apocalyptic world where kid soldiers are a norm for the most part, except for in Gyllenhaal, apparently, because most of those guys seem to be adults. But for Tekkadan and whatnot, they are all children, and or very young kids, or teenagers. But I was like, wait, what? Excuse me? It's like, when you're inviting your commander to dinner with your sister, and then it's like they're engaged. It's like, wait, okay, what? Okay, you're dropping all sorts of info in less than a few seconds. What are you talking about?
Hey, at least it's not like Angelo with this little crush on Full Frontal.
Oh, right. Gundam Unicorn. Jesus.
Not that I have a problem with it. I just thought it was weird.
I haven't finished Unicorn yet, but I will at some point. I'm more busy trying to finish other things. I want to watch Gundam the Origin Part 2. I know it released. What?
We need to watch Gundam the Origin Part 2 and actually review it in a podcast.
I don't really know if I want to dedicate an entire episode just to Gundam the Origin.
Well,
I guess
it is like a 2-hour-long episode, so.
That's the reason why I don't really want to. It's a little long to just be do a review on it. I guess we could, but then I'd have to
like a movie review.
Yeah, but
we could talk about the Goof Prototype Tactical Demonstrator.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
Because that's its official title.
Yeah, but this means that
I think if we open with that, people will definitely want to watch it.
Yes. I guess we could try and do that, but Megazord needs to be able to watch that. Of course, we can rent it on Amazon. You can come over to my house and we'll rent it.
What are you talking about?
You can come to my house and we'll rent it and we'll watch it together or something.
We need a character on the Gjallarhorn with a magical mustache, because the last mustache man died. We usually have people with epic facial hair in Gundam.
Who are you talking about?
Somebody like Ramba Rao with his epic mustache.
Oh. I'm sure that he'll show up at some point. Eventually. Who knows? It might happen, it might not. We'll have to wait and see. But, yeah.
We only have 20 episodes left.
I've noticed that. We got 20 episodes, guys. We're making it. We're doing it. We got 20 episodes left to see what'll happen, and if this show is worth its salt.
20 episodes, and if they move at the pace they did with during the last episode, it's going to take about 10 episodes before they get to Earth.
Well, let's hope it doesn't take 10 episodes. I'm gonna guess maybe 4 or 5. If that.
Well, they do have to travel a couple million miles, so.
This is true. And who knows what they will see on their way there.
Space whales!
Space whales. What is this, Doctor Who all of a sudden?
Oh gosh.
You're the one with the character that you're the one with the gun. You're the one with the Gundam character that actually met aliens.
Hey! This is true. One of the few Gundam series that actually showed aliens, Gundam 00, in their movie, Awakening of the Trailblazer. Although, to be honest, those aliens I don't think were entirely sentient. I haven't seen the movie myself, so I can't confirm or deny that. Let me know if the aliens were sentient, because all they looked like were living organisms that were made of metal that took over things. Like some sort of virus. A spore, or a virus, or a living entity.
I don't remember if they were like the Borg or not.
I don't know. I don't know if they assimilated other people into their system. I don't know. At least with Gundam Age, the whole alien thing was partially true and partially false, because yeah, the bad guys were from Mars, but they were just abandoned humans. Oh, worse off than Xeon. And their population.
I'm looking at Ronald's new picture, and it's kind of like he didn't want that picture being taken.
Oh, he's using his other account.
Oh crap! What do I have up?
It shows.
What's my picture?
You can't see your own picture?
No, because I'm watching this show.
The picture of you in a blue shirt.
Oh my god!
Looking like my friend Dennis.
This is my old account. That's like an old photo. I don't look like that anymore.
Yeah. Don't worry, the people won't see it. All they'll see is the one they've been seeing of a Megazord. That's all they get to see.
Yes.
Can we get back on topic?
Can we?
Yes.
I don't know if we can.
Let's go back to talking about space battles.
We haven't even gotten to that part.
We haven't even finished the episode.
Yeah, we haven't even finished episode 4. For that matter, Megazord hasn't even finished episode 4.
I did.
Oh wait, yeah, if you were at that one part, I'm pretty sure you were nearing the end of it, so. But,
I'm surprised Mikasa did something without being ordered to.
Well, we learned the name of their ship, too. Should we talk about the ship and its design real quick?
I always thought it looked like the International Space Station if it was... Or
it looks like
we're talking about, like, the different ship.
We're talking about Tekkadan's ship. Willow-Wolf.
That ship. The cool ship.
Yeah, the red ship.
The not white base of the series.
No, it's white base. We can already confirm this is white base for them. With the one exception that it looks nothing like any of the ships that we've ever seen before.
I think it looks awesome. It kind of looks like a submarine in space.
Yes, it does. It does look a lot like a submarine in space. I guess that's a...
And it's got like giant I don't know if they're 40mm cannons on them.
Who knows? We'd need basically a blueprint and specs of the ship in order to find that out.
My question is, why are all the guns only at the front of the ship instead of being at like different points along the ship?
It's on the front of the ship and on the sides. That's where most gunships would put their guns. They wouldn't put them on their backside because that makes no sense.
But what if they're coming from behind you?
Too close to the ship's engines. I think that would cause a problem.
What if they're heat resistant?
What if they're heat resistant? What happens if the guns blow up and then the engines blow up with them?
True. Touche.
Yeah, there has to be better, more strategic places to put the guns opposed to your backside.
What if the guns are heat resistant?
Well, the engines would have to be heat resistant because they're going to have to be using a lot of energy just to move themselves forward.
Touche.
But I think, to be honest, in most Gundam shows, considering you have mobile suits, the mobile suits are supposed to be the things that cover your back.
It seems like these ships can only hold 1 or 2 mobile suits instead of the usual, like, I think White Base could hold 4, maybe?
It normally held about 4. And a couple other things. Of course, White Base is fairly substantially large, and we don't know how... I don't really know if we've gotten a proper perspective on how big their ship is, technically. Right now, they only have 2 mobile suits. So we don't know if they can carry more than 2.
Why is Akihiro the only other guy to get a mobile suit?
Because he's the only other one capable of piloting it, and or the more capable pilots in their employ at this point.
To me, it seems Akihiro is the one most likely to, like, of the actual, like, Tekadan troop guys that might actually, if he gets a better offer, betray them.
I don't think that'll be the case. Because actually that was one of the things I was going to talk about, which is the human debris thing, which is what he's a part of, along with all the guys that follow him with those red bands on the sides of their coat. Those guys are people who are traded for money. So they're contracted to work. That's why the reason why Orga gave him the papers in the first place. Is that you can have these... Your contract was over a while ago, you can leave now. But, obviously... they have nowhere to go. No one would hire them because of what they are. Or if they did, they'd have to probably work under new contracts.
Mm-hmm.
It's an interesting conundrum. And what... Yet another fascinating little tidbit of information for Iron-Blooded Orphan's world and story. People who are sold for money. Slave trade. Basically. Would be, I think, the accurate analogy for this, is slave trade.
So the Barbados got some shoulder pads in this episode.
Yeah. I thought we were talking about
The ship.
Akihiro. I thought we were talking about Akihiro for a moment, but...
We were. I just...
You're going off tangent. Everybody's going off tangent on my podcast. What is going on? I've lost control of the situation.
It's late
We
at
need
night.
we need like a whiteboard that we can look at and then be like, this is our topic. This is the
Please
next
try and stay on it.
Okay, let's go back to Akihiro and the fact that he's got the mobile suit and...
Well, actually, I was going to ask Megazord what he thought of the whole, basically human trafficking.
I think it's terrible.
I think it's terrible.
Yes.
I think it should not exist.
I'm not
In
talking
that
about
world,
in real life.
It shouldn't exist in fiction either.
No, I think that... Well, the one thing that I know, it's horrible, yes, but the important thing is always... When it comes to fiction, if you can talk about certain situations in a tasteful manner, or in a somewhat realistic manner, but do it respectfully, I don't think you're going to have a problem. I really don't have a problem with that. Because we live in a fairly cold and cruel world, so... A lot of the time. So it's okay for fiction to kind of remind us of some of those things. Gundam has always done that for the longest time, is, they've shown horrible and uncomfortable things, but they've done so in a way where it's like, oh, okay, I get it, I understand. You respect the material that they give you. It's not just in there and it's done without any thought put into it normally. Of course, I don't know. Maybe I'm mistaken on that. But most of the shows I've ever watched, when something horrible happens, it's normally done in some manner in which I'm like, oh, that's terrible. Now I feel bad. But now I'm seeing more of the real world, too. In it.
Yes.
In a show that's in space! And with giant robots and beam weaponry. This is what I need.
Space!
In space! Suspension of disbelief, people.
Indeed.
Okay, so I guess we'll move on to
The
episode 5.
Speaking of space, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles have now been in space now.
They've been in space before. It's nothing new. They've done it like 50 times.
Yeah,
That's why I
but
don't
now
know.
Dr. Honeycutt is voiced by Doctor Who. There's like 100. There's been like 50 Doctor Who references now
Oh my gosh.
within 2 episodes.
In the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Yes.
Wow. Just
Wow.
wow. Sure, Doctor Who reference it.
Well, so he's voiced by Doctor Who, so
Oh. Which Doctor? Be specific. There's over 13 of them.
the 11th Doctor, David Tennant.
He was 10. 11 was Matt Smith.
I didn't realize you were a Whovian.
I keep
I am.
forgetting that a doctor decided to transform himself back into himself before.
Yeah. David Tennant's Doctor did do that. He opted not to transform into another format. Probably because his contract wasn't over. At least that would be my understanding of it. Yeah, let's talk about Doctor Who. No, I'm kidding.
Let's not talk about Doctor Who.
At least not at
Let's-
the moment.
Talk about how beautifully crafted the space was.
Space. In space! Okay, well, we'll move to episode 5 then, I guess. Why not?
I will be right back.
Of course you will.
I will.
I'll hunt you down otherwise.
I'll be back.
Remember, he knows where you live.
This is true, I do. Although I don't know where he's at right now. All I know is he's at a laundromat. Laundry. Always laundry. My goodness. Ah, do 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 do. I will cut this part out.
So you actually want to talk about while he's gone what you guys talked about last week and get some my opinions in on things?
Well, I guess we could do that actually. What did we talk about last week? Well, mainly it was. We talked about the Thunderbolt anime announcement. You can give your thoughts on that.
I think that sounds awesome because I keep seeing like all these designs from the Thunderbolt like manga and stuff coming to life, and I'm like, oh, this looks cool. Oh, this dome looks awesome.
Yeah.
I just don't like how the Gundam has like its head cameras right on its like faceplate thing, or on like its cheeks, because it looks like it has like, you know how people get like those stupid teardrop tattoos in prison,
Right.
and something stupid.
I didn't really notice that part in the pictures that I've seen of the Thunderbolt version of the Gundam. I haven't seen that part, so I do not know.
Oh, I thought you. Then again, I stared at it for like a few minutes, so.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So what else did you guys talk about?
We talked about the new card game, the Gundam
Which-
Cross Wars card game.
Gundam Cross Wars.
Yes.
Is this something Japanese only, like a trading card game, or is it going to come to the States?
I don't know if it'll come to the States. All I know is it's a trading card game, both a physical one and a digital one. It'll have two formats.
Gonna be like Yu-Gi-Oh! Except with Gundams.
Sort of, yeah. From what I've seen of it.
I don't know how to feel about this. I always ran with like an undead deck in Yu-Gi-Oh!
I run with warriors. That's my choice. But there was that. We also talked more about releasing Gundam games in the States. Although, fun fact, there actually was an announcement that I think Bandai will be doing that.
For Gundam Breaker 3.
Is that what the game will be? I don't
that's
know.
what you posted.
Nope, that wasn't me. I didn't post that.
You didn't post that on...
No.
Facebook?
No, someone else posted that there was talks of a Gundam game coming out in the States, but no information on which one it was. A lot of the people that were talking about it do want it to be like Gundam Breaker 3 or the new Gundam Extreme Versus game. I just don't want it to be another Dynasty Warrior Gundam game, because I'm getting sick of Dynasty Warrior Gundam games. I love them. They're fun.
Give us, like, Mario Warriors or something like that, because you gave us Hyrule Warriors. Do something else stupid, like Mario Warriors, or do Metroid. That would be awesome.
Yeah. Although I think you'd be limited on what types of characters you could use in that game. And a yawn!
Or
Fantastic.
if you make another Dynasty Warriors Gundam, don't just limit it to the Universal Century and Seed.
Yeah, let's diversify that portfolio, guys. There are multiple Gundam franchises, and multiple members of the community would love to see story modes for all of them. That means 00, Wing, Gundam Mechs, or I don't know, any of them. Just pick them.
Weren't they making Gundam Wing into like an OVA or something like that?
I don't know.
I thought there was some like OVA of Gundam Wing that didn't have anything to do with Hero Yui, which cool, cause I hate Hero Yui.
No, Hero gets no love. Poor Hero.
Well, that's because Duo is like the greatest character in the series.
Well, I will admit that Duo was... I liked him and Troa and Ketra better. But it's still... It's not fair to him. Poor guy. He can't catch a break anymore.
Well, he has an overpowered Gundam that he just killed everything with.
That's true.
And then he has angel wings for whatever reason.
At least in the movie he did.
Yes.
That was in the movie. That is not indicative to, the rest of the series, where he doesn't have a Gundam with angel wings.
I prefer the Death Scythe as much as it has wings, because I like the whole cloak opening thing.
Yeah.
With that. And
yeah.
Then again, scythes are awesome.
But yeah, that was pretty much the gist of what we talked about. The only other thing we talked about a little bit was remakes of games and whatnot.
Remake Final Fantasy VI.
That would be cool, actually. I think that's something that I would like to see.
6 was good.
Yes.
Yeah,
I've
never
never
watched
played it,
Let's
actually.
Play. I would actually get like a PS4 just to play Final Fantasy VI, a remake, just because
You
I
could
want to
just play
see
the original.
Kefka have like a voice actor, and I
Yeah.
want to see how hammy he could actually be
I think that the best solution for Final Fantasy VI is probably remaking it for the DS. Because most of the DS remakes have been, or well, in this case it'd be a 3DS. But I've played the remakes for Final Fantasy 3 and for Final Fantasy 4. They're pretty good on the DS, and I think
Wait, you mean the original Final Fantasy 3 or the American Final Fantasy 3?
Well, not the American, it was the original Final Fantasy 3.
Because I was about to say the American Final Fantasy 3 is Final Fantasy 6.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how it was distributed in the US. I remember that.
Yeah. Yeah, the original Final Fantasy 3 was actually Final Fantasy 6 in disguise.
Because I think we got the original 1 and 2, then we skipped 3 and 4.
Yeah. That's basically how it went. But
For whatever reason.
They remade the original Final Fantasy 3 and released it to the States multiple times. But the version I played was the 3DS version. And I don't have it anymore, but it was fun initially. I just gave up playing it for a while. I do that sometimes. But,
I have to say,
yeah.
Going back to like actually I tried to replay Final Fantasy 6 again.
Yeah.
And it takes so much time.
Are we talking level grinding here?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've been watching this dude play Let's Play. This game is brutal sometimes. It barely ever gives you time to grind.
I wouldn't know. I've never really played 6. I'm planning on it. I'm gonna probably buy it from my virtual console. And
to me, Kefka is a superior villain to Sephiroth.
Yeah.
Because I feel that Sephiroth was just an emo pretty boy.
Them's fighting words.
But Kefka actually had like persona, and he didn't just want to make his mama happy. He wanted to become a god.
I know. Considering Sephiroth was like my second Final Fantasy villain, considering that I played 8 first and then got bored after the first disc because things got weird, I went to 7 when my friend showed it to me. I like Sephiroth. And though I've only seen Kefka through like the cutscenes and what people have explained of this crazy clown monster man, I will give Kefka more credit in a sense for the fact that he actually does destroy the world, and for a villain that's not normally how an RPG normally ends or gets close to an ending, and basically he rules the world and destroys it and then basically shoots at any remaining survivors with laser vision for fun. That normally doesn't happen very often, at least none that I've played. I'll give him credit for that, but I still like Sephiroth more.
The only other game where I can think all humans die off in is in Darksiders. But then again, that's the entire point of Darksiders, is that it's the apocalypse.
Yeah, that makes sense. But, oh boy. But yeah, I still would go with Sephiroth as my favorite, not because he's the better villain, I just like him more, I guess.
It's the sword.
It's the sword. Yeah, it's the sword and those... Oh, what was it? I remember I have a magazine that has jokes about Sephiroth, and it's like, wait, that's a guy, not a girl? Basically, it was like the weirdest...
You know what I remember? What mission I'm remembering about Final Fantasy VII?
What's that?
Mission where you have to get all these outfits.
Yeah, dressing as a girl.
As a girl.
Yeah, that was awkward. Hilarious and awkward.
I'm sure some people enjoyed it. No.
I don't know.
Best game ever.
I'm wondering if that'll be in the remake for Final Fantasy VII. I don't know.
Oh, did you hear that some people are already trying to make a petition to make sure that to give an option? Oh, you brought this up. I forgot. About Aerith?
Yeah. Yeah, I've talked about it before. I think I talked about it last week, actually. Did I talk about it? Megazord, remind me, did I talk about that?
I don't remember that.
I don't know. Maybe I talked about it off camera. I sometimes do that. Sometimes I talk to Magnus after podcasts are over.
We usually talk for a while.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just going to bash probably every possible YouTuber I can at some point. Oh my gosh. Well, not all of them, just the ones that I have issue with. Yeah. Okay, I probably won't name his name exactly, but there was a guy that talked. There are some people who think that having Aerith be a side mission to have her revived and whatnot is a good idea. And I really don't feel like that would be good at any point, even after you've beaten the game and you start over.
Oh, yeah, we talked about that because I clicked one of his videos.
Yes. That guy is just weird in general. I'm not even
the dude who made like a top 10 hottest Final Fantasy girls, but he's like, oh, I'm not trying to objectify women, but I'm still making a top 10 list of.
I think it was more or less is like, yes, I like girls, and yes, I don't care. What was it? Apparently, he has a dirty mind. Apparently. And he doesn't care, and every time he plays a Final Fantasy game, he puts all the girls on the team, apparently, for some reason. Because he likes staring at booty? I don't know.
Yeah, that made me turn off the video, because I was like,
no, try and watch through it twice, and then come back and talk to me. Because it's one of the weirdest things, is that I don't normally care too much about who's hot and who's not when it comes to characters. I'm more interested in the personality behind the characters opposed to like what they look like. You could look like Tifa Lockhart and I could still consider you one of my favorites regardless, and it's not your appearance, it's just her general character.
But Dilly Dally Shilly Shally originated in Final Fantasy VI.
What?
The line Dilly Dally Shilly Shally was in Final Fantasy VI.
I'm sure
and then it was in
the
Final Fantasy VII quite often.
I didn't remember it in. I only remember it in Advent Children. I don't remember it in the actual game itself. I never saw it.
I don't know what's being talked about. What is Dilly Dally Shilly Shally?
I remember it was from the Final Fantasy VII Advent Children movie. What Tifa said to Cloud all the time.
Oh, I need to watch it again. I've seen it like 3 times.
Yeah, it was when he was being overly mopey and whatnot.
Because the emo characters are so cool and rad.
And that's not how Cloud is.
They're all like brooding and like
because somehow they want Cloud to be Shadow the Hedgehog.
Levity, people. We need levity. We need levity in every format of media. If everything is too dark and serious, you're gonna make me depressed.
It's like who was that? Oh, the guy from King of Queens. That's actually like a movie file. I can't remember, but he was talking about how brooding is like the thing now, like for every like DC character.
Yeah, every DC character.
He was like the only one that gets to brood is Batman. Like everybody else should be their own character.
Oh, right. I think what is that guy's name? I know who you're talking about. You mentioned him. What is his name?
I can't remember.
I know who he is. I remember.
Kevin James?
No, not Kevin James. The other chubby guy.
The shortest guy.
The shorter guy. Oh, what is his name? Now it's gonna drive me nuts.
I only know like 2 actors in that show.
What?
Kevin
James.
Oscar
or no?
and Jerry Stiller.
I don't know. We should actually get back on topic for episode 5.
Yes.
We should.
Yeah, let's talk about episode 5. Come on. I still watched it, but go ahead.
You're still watching it, but go ahead. We'll get back to whatever it was we were just talking about in a moment.
Well, technically, I was stalling so you could finish the episode, too.
Oh, we're stalling for time? Is that what we're doing? Are we stalling?
Well, Tia didn't watch the episode once yet, so...
Well, I don't know if there was a whole lot to... Episode 5 was more action-oriented. The only stuff
this was just the big space battle.
Yeah.
Them escaping the Mars, like, gravitate. I would say they were escaping the Mars sphere, but I don't think they did.
Well, I think the one thing, actually, that I was going to mention is that, Frieden mentioned that the Barbatos is hundreds of years old.
Yes.
And that, well, that kind of, he did a little speech like, these sorts of things have been happening throughout history, that a Gundam shows up and changes the course of human history, I guess. I'm paraphrasing.
Well, remember, all Gundams take place in the same universe.
Yes. They all take place in the same universe. Or they're all connected, basically, like...
So maybe this Cataclysm War is like the Great Cataclysm is the thing that happens within, like... I don't know if that would make sense. To start, like, the Black History?
The Dark History?
Yes.
From Turn a Gundam. Could be. It's
that would be awesome if this is, like... Mars really kind of survived, but the Earth kind of just sucks. But then again, they didn't even know what space was, or they didn't know how to get into space and turning guns.
So. Maybe. Yeah, that makes sense. It could be part of that. But yeah, the Barbatos is hundreds of years old. He's more Granddaddy Gundam than the RX-78, apparently.
Well, we already knew it had to be hundreds of years old. They might have been talking about, like, in-universe, because we've already heard that there's supposed to be 77 Gundam-type mobile suits, so...
Yeah, something to that nature.
And I also thought he said they had found several of these, like, mobile suits, too.
No. Did he say that? I don't think he said that. He was just mentioning that it hadn't been seen in hundreds of years.
300 and... Is it 41 or 91?
It's 323.
323, so... For all we know, the Barbatos caused the cataclysm.
How?
I don't know.
It's an interesting theory, but what could it have possibly used to do that? Turn A makes... The Turn A Gundam makes more sense.
We also know that the Barbatos can eject its own armor plating.
What does that have to do with anything?
I don't know. I didn't know a Gundam could just eject its armor off.
Well, it's like, okay, let's say the Gundam's been out. It just fought a big battle. He's really tired. Does he want to have to go back into the hangar and take it all off manually? No. You want to just be able to push a button, eject that armor, get some rest.
Yeah, sure. Let's humanize the mobile suit while we're at it.
Let's humanize the mobile suit based off a demon.
Gundams have been named after multiple different things. I mean, a lot of the enemies from Gundam Wing were named after star constellations, so...
We've also had Gundams based off of Mexicans. Like, tequila drinking, sombrero wearing Mexicans.
Oh
my gosh. Oh my gosh.
G Gundam got a little bit on the racist side, I think.
They did stereotype.
Or they got what? No, I wouldn't say racist. They got way too stereotypical.
They really did.
They did badly, and it was
The
funny.
American Gundam that was the football-playing boxer that could shoot off its chest armor and had like a humanoid-looking chest.
Yeah.
Yep,
That was one of my favorite ones. I don't know why, but
Gundam Maxter.
yeah.
That was an interesting one. I like the Dragon Gundam personally.
I like the Rose Gundam, just because
Yeah.
it looks so regal and stuff like that.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, the Barbatos is very old. We have established he's an old fuddy-duddy.
We also established that McGillis has an awesome-looking custom graze.
Yes, he does.
The Schwable. They're probably
Schwabla
just-
Grays. I like just calling it Gray's mobility type. Because it's easier.
It has a bunch of extra thrusters,
Yep.
and it's got a claw, and it's got like a heat rod-looking thing on it.
Has the claw.
The claw.
Yeah. Oh, what was it? A lot of minor things happened in the episode that were character related. We had Mika's stalker, or Artra, now is the cook for the crew because she didn't want to leave him behind. She didn't want to leave without her.
She didn't want to go. She was like, "Oh, you guys don't want me." She's like, and then Mika's like, "Oh, I like your cooking. Come on, let's just do this."
Oh boy.
You want to hang out with the princess too, don't you?
Yeah.
Because our princess is in another. We need to take our princess to the other castle.
But yeah, that happened. And also, it seems like Frieden wanted to capture Claudia for himself for some reason. Seemed more or less that he was trying to. He wants to use her as a pawn or something. I don't know what that's about. They showed a little bit of like how the government on Earth works, which means they're under multiple companies or organizations.
Oh no, Donald Trump got to become the president.
Let's not get political, shall we? Only politics I want to hear about in this are Gundam-related
I was
politics.
gonna make a joke that this is what that was what the Great Cataclysm was.
Oh gosh.
Great cataclysm. Donald Trump was what became president. Yeah, I can see that. Except for the only difference is we don't got Gundams.
And they we learned that dude, the Hitler stash man, has been working for Gallahorn the entire time.
No, he wasn't working for Gellahorn. What he was doing was he was working with that Orcus company that was supposed to help get them to their ship, but Orcus double-crossed him as well as Tekkanen.
And they took all of his clothes and sent him to Gallahorn.
Yes, they did.
And
with good reason. They beat the crap out of him too. It's like, hey, this piece of trash belongs to you. You know, deal with him yourself.
that's actually what his chest, they tattooed onto his chest.
I thought they just wrote it down in ink.
I want them to have tattooed it on his chest, just like that lady did in The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, because that would be awesome revenge.
I think that would be a bit much. I don't think those kids are that sadistic. Although I guess we did see a bit more of Mika's sadistic side trying to choke that one dude out. I was like, oh boy, snap out of it, man.
Yeah, it's a bit, what would that word be? Just
Scary?
Kind of, yeah, but like, I don't know, he kind of jumping to conclusions pretty fast.
Yeah, he jumped right to the obvious worst case scenario and just started choking the dude.
Yeah.
I was like, why did you do that? It's a bit much. You're pushing
and
the
just
limit.
yeah.
But yeah, that happened. But let's see. Well, Ein got some screen time, too. Wanting to avenge Crank, his commanding officer. That was interesting. Actually, not really. It was actually rather boring. Hey, I'm trying to get any format of reaction at this point.
Yes.
It didn't feel like much was going on. The only thing that happened was we got to see a lot of the Barbatos fighting in episode 5. And Akihiro piloting a Graze. That was about the gist of almost everything that happened in that episode.
And Orga gets to be captain.
Of course, he is captain. Of course, wait. We did learn that the way that the Barbatos moves, it moves like a living or like a human body. The Ahab reactor functions like a actual human body, which means it responds to human what am I thinking? I'm drowning here. A little help would be prime.
Human. It moves like a person.
Yeah. Basically.
Yes.
I was trying to think of something clever, but I have nothing.
That or Mikasa's just like a new type.
Sort of. With that whole spatial awareness thing, yeah. Thud, thud. But, yeah, it was more or less...
I'm still wondering, where did they get the parts to rebuild that mace from so quickly?
I don't know.
Huh. It's all the corn, bro.
It's all that corn.
It's all the corn.
All that corn.
It's actually selling for a lot of money.
Actually, a lot less.
Why is corn a worthless crop on Mars?
Because they don't sell much candy.
Candy.
Because, a lot of, corn syrup for making candy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's how they probably use it. It's probably not worth much. I don't know, personally. But... The one thing that was funny was that even though the Barbatos moves like a living person, the one thing that was kind of interesting is that there is one spot on the Gundam that doesn't count for a human body part, and that would be the thrusters on the back. I thought that was kind of interesting how Frieden used that against him.
True.
Like how you can describe it.
You're watching the episode right now, you're doing it live. Come on. Work with me here.
I'm at a scene where they're eating at a table.
Oh. Well, you're not that far in at all then, are you?
No. I was trying to stream through the Daisuke app, but it's so slow. So now I found one on YouTube with the frame rate obviously off with the audio, but that's fine.
Wait, you can watch it on YouTube now?
Well, no, not officially. It's just it has they purposely
remove the audio.
Changed the audio, yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay, well, I guess whatever works at this point.
I liked the episode, and I liked how they're actually using tactics, but then again, they are trained military personnel, so they should use tactics.
Yeah, that makes sense. It would make a lot of sense. We get lots of strategy going on. Well, a little bit of surprise and a little bit of
Frieden with his
misdirection.
giant lance.
Frieden didn't have the lance, he had the claws. It was Buden that had the lance. With his purple grays. Who is breathing into their microphone?
Is that me?
I don't know.
I think so.
It could be. I don't know.
Oh, I was looking down and I was breathing.
Yeah, that could have been it. That must be it.
You
That's
need
okay.
to stop breathing.
Hold your breath. No, I'm kidding. Don't do that. It's fine. I'm not gonna worry about it.
Oh,
What?
oh, action. It's action.
Action. So much action.
Oh, there's the dual wielding.
Yeah.
That is a very, very long barrel.
Yeah. I've been noticing that.
It's like
I'm
a
seeing
rail gun more.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of really huge weapons in this series. It's like we're just gonna go over the top with the size of the weapons, and who cares?
Even
Nothing is small.
It
It's
just
like
looks better, especially for ballistic weapons.
it's the since you have the HD,
Yeah.
is like the katana oversized?
It's almost as long as the Gundam itself. To be completely honest, the katana that Barbatos comes with is about the size of the Gundam.
So do you
does
think
that
Mikasa
mean
is
anything?
compensating?
Oh god.
I don't know if it's compensating or what.
He's compensating for the amount of corn.
That's gonna be the new running joke in this podcast is corn.
Nah, it'll be the running joke for probably a good majority of our Iron-Blooded Orphans recaps. That'll probably be what it is. It's like, yeah.
Eventually we should just do like Build Fighters recaps.
I don't want to. I've already watched Build Fighters like 3 times. I only want to go back and watch it for fun. I don't want to have to go back and review it. It is
Build
not-
Fighters, here's my review. Build Fighters was amazing. If you're a fan of Gundam, you should watch it. If you're not a fan of Gundam, you should watch it, and you will therefore become a fan of Gundam.
I don't know. Yeah, the only other thing that we got to see is that... Oh, what was it? Eugene kind of stopped talking. He shut up for... Well, he didn't stop talking. He still was talking, but at the very least he put his money where his mouth was. Always complaining about Orga's... being in charge and whatnot, basically because he used to be in charge, but he isn't anymore, because Orga's better. But, yeah, actually surprising that he actually volunteered to do the final part of their mission before the episode ended. I won't go into detail, because Megazord needs to actually watch the whole episode, and then he'll know what I'm talking about.
Oh, there's hand-to-hand combat going on right now.
Enjoy the hand-to-hand combat. It is awesome. I like hand-to-hand combat. It's actually a lot of fun for a Gundam show. When it's not overly flashy. I actually like this hand-to-hand combat a bit more than watching the Build Fighters hand-to-hand combat. I like Build Fighters one, but it's so over-the-top and flashy, I can't take it seriously. I can sort of take this one a bit more seriously.
Well, you can't really take Build Fighters seriously. It's about toys It's about beating people up with toys.
That's true. This is true. I don't know. I like the fighting in Build Fighters, but there's only
And
a few
yes, I know
fights
they
that-
really are model kits comment section.
Has the comment section said anything about that?
I don't
That's
know.
a
I'm
lie.
just saying it sarcastically because I know the comment section might do it. Because I've read the YouTube comments. Because I've read YouTube comments. They're not nice.
They're not nice. I wouldn't know. I'm lucky if I get one comment. I'm lucky if I
Usually
even get
it's
a
for
comment
me.
and a like. What are my friends doing with their spare time? You can't comment and say hello? What's wrong with you guys? Come on! I know you're out there.
I usually watch your videos unless
that was creepy.
I
usually watch your videos unless it's like one of these, because then I'm like, oh yeah, I remember doing this.
Yeah, well, I have to actually go back and watch the videos when I'm editing it. So yeah, I get to rehear all the lovely conversations.
Do you ever just talk with to yourself during your recordings?
I run a YouTube gaming channel. You tell me if I talk to myself.
Well, no, you're talking to the audience, though.
In an empty room with nobody in it.
Your audience that consists of me and Ron.
I really don't know. Actually, Megazord, as far as I know, is not subscribed to me. Of course, granted, I can't keep track of everybody who's on the channel.
No, I subscribed.
You did?
I'm pretty sure I did.
You get a cookie.
You get a cookie.
Oh,
Well, I mean,
you.
I have 12, but I'm not sure. I try and look up almost everybody whose name is on it, but I don't know everybody. Some of them might be from other sources. They might be from Twitter. They might be from other parts of Facebook and people who I am not actually directly friends with. I know most of you guys out there are basically my friends from all my time in all the Gundam groups on Facebook. Hi! How you guys doing? I love you!
I feel like that's something that goes at the beginning of the episode.
I love you guys so much!
Like 4 people.
4 people?
Yeah, we need to get like a girl on the podcast.
How am I gonna be able to do that?
I don't know.
Right now the podcast consists of 4 people. The only reason why Sinanchu's not here is because he's sick.
Hey, it starts at 4, but you'll find somebody. You should put out a video looking for.
We need a girl to complete our team of like.
Do we really?
Yeah.
It would be interesting to hear that perspective.
That's true, but I would need to find a female Gundam
teams
enthusiast.
Teams are best in 5s, right? Megazord.
Huh?
Teams are best put into 5s, right? I mean, you're made out of 5
That's right.
robots, so.
Team of 5. That's the way to do it.
Technically 6, but who's counting? What? There's 6 Rangers.
Yes.
The Dragon Sword can attach to the rest of Megazord.
But the 6th Ranger got his own fully realized Megazord, so.
I don't know. 5 is not a round number. Sometimes I prefer round numbers. I'm weird like that, but I really don't care. Okay, how about this? I'll put it, considering I know where this video is going, and I know what's basically going, I know that I don't know how many of the Gundam groups out there are girls, but if you're interested in joining the podcast, please let me know. Send me a message or whatever. Let us know.
Exactly.
Are you a nerd?
Send a message. Send a profile shot.
Way to alienate them already, thanks!
You sure your wife doesn't like Gundam?
Yeah, definitely not. She just shakes her head when I tell her I'm gonna go do a podcast.
Really?
Although,
That's
you know,
how Avonlea responds? That's how Lady Megazord responds?
Yes.
Basically, oh, you're nuts. What are you doing?
What about your ma?
Oh, yeah.
Just because she's Asian doesn't mean.
Well, she built the bear guy with him.
No, oh, you're referring to my mom.
Yes.
Oh.
You build one model kit with your mom and you automatically assume she's a fan of Gundam. What the heck is wrong with you?
I don't know.
The answer is not really. I just bought that for her because it's cute and adorable, and I wanted something to do with her. Because I hadn't done, we hadn't spent, time together in that format, just sitting and hanging out. We do that all the time, but I wanted to do something and share a hobby I love with her. That was the entire point of that. Although we might do it again, maybe. But she doesn't know very much about Gundam, if anything at all. And also, she's kind of up there in years. You really want her on this podcast?
My dad
If
wants
Patrick
pretty
Stewart
much
wants
all
to be in the
of
podcast, I'm going to let him in the podcast.
What?
I just said if Patrick Stewart wants to be in the podcast, I'm going to let him be in the podcast.
Oh my god.
That would be like the greatest thing ever, though.
We have endorsement for Patrick Stewart.
Joined us in the podcast. I think we'd be on a whole other level of.
I think Patrick Stewart might do it if we asked him to.
I doubt it.
He does some random hard cider commercials where the whole point is that he doesn't need to be there.
I have seen that. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, that was. What were you saying beforehand, Megazord?
Oh, about old people.
Oh, yeah.
That's my dad.
Yeah.
My dad watched Endless Waltz with me, and he also watched pretty much all of G Gundam.
What, when you were growing up?
Yeah. Thinking back, I don't know how he did it.
You don't know?
Yeah, I don't know how he did it, but he did. So.
Huh.
Yeah.
Maybe he grew up with Transformers and the like, and is still has this kid in him that likes this stuff.
You have no idea how old he really is.
Yeah, he's like 75.
Oh.
He's much, much older than that. That's the same reason why I don't want to put my mom on the podcast. She's very, very close to that age.
Harrison Ford is like 89.
What, Megazord?
Harrison Ford's like 89 and he still goes around. I
wasn't talking to you. I know how old Harrison Ford is. He's an old fart.
Harrison Ford is not 89.
I think he's like 80. He can't be 85.
He can't be that old.
I don't know.
He's like in his late 70s, early 80s.
Is he really? I'm gonna look that
up.
Yeah. Please look that up because
I will. I'm concerned now.
He got injured on the set of Star Wars. I think he broke a hip or something. Maybe Han Solo dies. There's your theory because he's been wanting to die since like episode 5.
Oh, he's 73.
Yeah, I thought that.
Still pretty old.
Yeah, he's up there. Of course, most of the original Star Wars cast is up there in years.
His face is still...
Yeah, Harrison Ford has aged actually pretty well in comparison to the others. Because Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher, age has not been kind to them.
Yeah, true.
Harrison Ford is the best looking out of all of them.
Well, except on Mark Hamill's voice.
Well, that's a voice.
Has gotten more awesome in the years.
I mean, the voice of the original Optimus Prime still does work, but that does... Obviously, he looks much older. He's much older now, but his voice still sounds the same.
He was also Eeyore in Winnie the Pooh.
That I did not know.
Nah. Are you serious?
Wow.
Yeah. He even did a thing at the Transformers convention where he talked about how he's not allowed to be Eeyore anymore, and he did like Eeyore meets Optimus Prime, and it was awesome. It's like
that's awesome.
That sounds lovely.
I just found out I'm not allowed to be me anymore. It's like, Eeyore, whose butt do I have to kick?
Well, you know that a voice actor has fun when he breaks into multiple different characters that he's voiced over the years and just has conversations with himself. It's either that or it's a sign of that he's becoming senile.
This was just at a convention, too.
Yeah.
This was like, I think it was a Q&A thing.
Well, actually, I was going to talk about this for a second because this came in the Barbatos kit. I got this little thing, little pamphlet of Blu-ray DVD releases for Gundam shows, and I have no idea. I'm going to say that this is theoretical. I'm not sure if this will happen. It'll be awesome if it does happen. But there are Blu-ray box sets available for 0083 or Stardust Memory, Zeta Gundam, the 8th MS Team, which I would love a Blu-ray of that. That would be
okay. If we do that, if we get Blu-rays of that, we need to do a full-on review of that.
It's basically going to be the same show we've always seen. What would be the difference?
I don't know. We just would review it and have awesomeness about War in the Pocket and 8th MS Team.
The other one was 0083. That's Stardust Memory.
Hey.
Yes.
Yes.
I have to go.
Fully?
I have to go.
Okay.
More work stuff.
Okay. All right.
I work at night. In case you didn't know that, Magnus.
Yes, well, I know that. Now he knows.
Now I do.
Yeah. And tonight is a little different than usual. I usually be able to keep going till like 9:30 or so, but tonight I gotta go.
Yeah, it's okay, man. Don't worry about it.
I'm planning to go to bed soon anyways.
All right.
All right.
I'll be well, then we'll
all caught up next time.
Yeah, let's hope so. Well, next week you won't have to worry about it as much. You'll only have one episode to watch.
True. Alrighty.
All right.
See you guys later.
Right.
And if you don't, Duke will come to you and drag you away to his house and make you watch the episode.
I could do that. That's a lot of responsibility to put on me that I'm not going to do that.
Remember, with great power comes great responsibility.
Okay, we'll just end the video here. Well, I hope you all enjoyed it. Like, comment, let us know, and we'll see you next time.
We'll be less goofy next time.
I doubt that. We'll be very goofy because hopefully Sinanju will be back. And that can just go off the wall crazy.
Yes.
Cool.
I don't know if I will actually be able to be on the next podcast. I will inform you if I'm stopping at a hotel because I'm actually moving next Tuesday.
Okay, this is parts of the stuff that we don't need, so I'm gonna just stop the video. Bye!